From cell phones to laptops to music, applications, and even video games, the increase in technology in the 21st century has been driven by human innovation, capitalism, and corporate control. So it begs the question, can we trust corporations when we buy devices from them? Or do they, in the end, truly have the say on how we maintain, repair, and use their products? In short, planned obsolescence is a policy or business practice of producing consumer goods that rapidly become obsolete. This is achieved by frequent changes in design, termination, or restriction of the supply of spare parts, and the use of non-durable materials. If you've ever owned a printer, you too have probably run into the issue of running out of ink only to run to the store, buy a $60 cartridge, and put the new one in, only to find you need to replace all of them. Or, if you do buy a third-party cartridge, your printer might give you an error message. These are examples of intentional design choices by companies that manufacture these items. It is not human error, it is malicious, purposeful design and usage and firmware intended to force consumers to spend money after the initial purchase. In fact, printer companies often lose money during the first sale, and instead rely on the markup cost of replacement ink cartridges that cost pennies to produce. This razor and blades model is still in common practice by companies today, and worst of all, it's a practice used in plain sight, one that is paired with insane amounts of lobbying money in order to pass anti-right to repair legislation. We let them get away with this, but we don't have to. With 50 million tons of e-waste being produced each year, equivalent to around 1,000 laptops a second, planned obsolescence isn't just a personal problem, it's an environmental one. In the EU alone, discarded repairables can account for up to 30 million of those tons. This is equivalent to around 260 million tons of greenhouse gases a year. With throwaway culture rising because of cheaply made products and the money, expense, and effort required to repair these devices in the current climate, these numbers are only bound to get worse. So, the question is, when people don't repair, what do they do? Deloitte's consumer survey holds some of the answers. Of respondents reported that their usual practice when a device becomes defective is to replace it with a new one. Only 31% of respondents get it repaired, with an additional 19% doing the repair themselves. For the majority that does repair, the main motivator seems to be to save expenses, which tracks. Studies have shown that choosing replacement over the repair costs nearly $12 billion in avoidable expenses each year. However, repair in itself can be costly, and that high cost is the reason why 60% of non-repair respondents avoid it. This, in part, is caused by corporation monopoly and lobbying, which suffocates cheaper, third-party repair options or even the parts needed for independent repair. This directs us straight into the debate about right to repair. Is it really something worth fighting for?
So right to repair is you should have the ability to repair your own product, and the manufacturer should not be putting intentional roadblocks in your way of doing so. And there's this misconception that right to repair means that I want to have a cell phone that's the size of what Gordon Gekko was using in the movie Wall Street. And that's not really what it's about. Right to repair is about manufacturers not putting intentional barriers between you and your ability to do your job.
Back in the old days, laptops, smartphones, and almost all electronics, unless purposely disposable, were made to be easy to take apart and easy to repair. Nowadays, between glued batteries, fused motherboards, and other intentional design choices, even trained experts may struggle to repair devices. Right to repair isn't just about making it easier for repair shops to do their job. It's about forcing companies to stop predatory business practices that keep everyone from repairing or upgrading the devices they pay for. If you pay for a device, you should be able to do what you want with it. If repairing our devices is the best option, what can someone do if they aren't able to do it themselves? What is the alternative to paying those high prices that manufacturers charge for certified repair? After all, 1/3 of Apple's profits come from repair. But those high prices drive the other 2/3 that come from new device sales. These companies don't want you to repair your devices. They want you to buy new ones. The option? Third-party repair. But there's an issue. It's dying. It's an increasingly hostile market, one fraught with anti-repair practices that make it increasingly difficult for third-party shops to do their jobs. And one of those biggest offenders? Parts pairing. What is parts pairing? Simply put, it is another business practice employed by manufacturers to control who can and can't repair their products. Apple has it, Tesla has it, and even John Deere has it. Yes, this issue impacts farmers too. An example, you have an iPhone and the battery is dying. Fortunately for you, your friend's old phone is the same model. You can just switch batteries. Great, right? Except, when you swap the batteries, turn the phone back on, and try to go about your business, you get a strange new notification. Important battery message. Unable to verify this iPhone has a genuine Apple battery. These notifications can continue for days. You can't get rid of them, and slowly, your device loses more and more functionality, even if the battery is from another OEM device. This is parts pairing. Its entire purpose is so you have to go to Apple themselves to get repairs. Nowadays, this is achieved with serialization, and though the serialization practice in itself wasn't always harmful, the new usage of digital serials in order to prevent swapping parts is. It forces you or those third parties who repair your devices to pay premiums for OEM parts. This gives the manufacturer power to control what you put in your own device. This practice has only gotten worse. So, you might be wondering, how do we fix this problem? What can you as an individual do to fix this? The best first step is what you have already done, learning. By educating ourselves and being able to spot the manipulation and intentional decisions of corporations, you're already far ahead of everyone else. However, unless action is taken, this behavior is unlikely to get better. And that's where the organizations like Repair.org come in. Repair.org's mission is to bring together repair businesses and consumers in order to collectively push for public policies that uphold right to repair. Established in 2013, Repair.org is at the forefront of pushback legislation against planned obsolescence and bad business practice, and they've already made changes. Their website holds all you need to get started, such as up-to-date legislation, news, education, and resources to contact local representatives or direct you to your most effective organization if you're outside the United States. Organizations like Repair.org and the people behind them stand in direct opposition against the heavy lobbying employed by megacorporations like Apple. These companies spend billions annually in order to ensure your right to repair stays out of your hands. Getting active in your local community in order to spread the word about right to repair and advocating for legislation is the change we need to finally stop these companies in their tracks. However, with over $10 trillion worth of opposition in their hands, it won't be an easy fight. So, take action and take back your right to repair.